Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to wherever you are. And welcome to our first Facebook live broadcast here on Nerd Nation. And it is a debut on Facebook. Sorry, this unfortunate debut on Facebook is a somber one because we're talking about the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman basically became a superstar when he made Black Panther. He was actually Black Panther in Civil War, but when he made his first film, he became a global sensation and an inspiration to millions of people, billions of people probably, all over the world, of various cultures and faiths. Seeing a man who's not your stereotypical looking superhero in a film amongst other people who are usually token characters, being in charge, leading the show, and having a fulfilling story in a world where people like him are all very successful, all doing well. It was very inspirational. And you can understand why Chadwick himself was so taken with this particular role, but he knew what he was getting himself into. And when you watch some of the videos on YouTube, you'll see a man who is very taken aback by when he hears other fans speak about him and what they see of him and what he makes them feel. He was more, even though he was known to be Black Panther, this man has created a variety of films playing iconic black characters, whether they be fictional like Black Panther or real like James Brown. And I apologize, a baseball player as well. His name escapes me. Baseball's not my thing. I should have been more prepared. It was a film called 42. He's also
I forgot he was in that. Sorry.
Jackie Robinson, I believe.
Yes.
Yes. He's been in a lot of films, but these are the films where he was more of the leading role. 21. He's done your stereotypical wham bam thank you man sort of straight to video rental release films like 21 Bridges, as well as a Netflix film like The Five Blood. So he's mixed it up. He's done all types of stuff, and he's really only been around when it comes to the public eye for the last not even 10 years, and he's left an impression on us all. He's a great actor and a great man as well. If you've ever seen on YouTube one of his speeches at Howard University, he just knocks it out of the park. I highly recommend it. So Boseman is gone, but he won't be forgotten. He's left an impression on all of us, and he's left a hole with all of us as well. I don't know what's going to be going on in the future. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But when you heard the news this morning, Buck Crimes. I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce my colleagues, Cousin Cheeto and Buck Crimes. Hello, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Fine, thanks. Sorry for not introducing you guys earlier. I do apologize. Cousin Cheeto, you can just wave. So Buck Crimes, when you heard about this news, I mean, like, could you believe it? I mean, where were you? How did you feel?
I was just sitting here scrolling through Facebook and I saw a mention of him. I'm like, what? Fuck, that sucks. And I found yet another reason to hate 2020.
Oh, yeah. It hasn't been a good year for anybody.
No, it really hasn't. What the hell's all with all these, good celebrity deaths? What I mean by good celebrities, I mean they don't have like a creepy scandal or anything like that behind them. They don't have like a Kevin Spacey type stuff. Usually the person that winds up dying tends to be like a relatively wholesome, fan appreciative person. They're not a dick.
Yep. He's a very good character actor, Chadwick Boseman. I mean, you see the roles he's done. He's done all types of stuff, whether it be action films or serious drama. He's dipped his toe in everything in a short space of time. And it's unfortunate when you think of actors like him and you think of actors like Heath Ledger as well, like really great, true artists of the craft. They die young. And there was no fault of his own, colon cancer. I mean, he hid it so well. He had it for 4 years. So he would have had it just after.
Yeah,
I mean, he would have probably had it. He would have probably not even realized he had it when he was making Civil War. It could have been as far back as then. and to contain it the way he did, to look as good as he did for a long period of time while going through stage 3 colon cancer. He hit stage 4 when he died, but at stage 3, cancer, just whatever type of cancer it may be, to look as good as he did was remarkable. The guy was, a credit to his craft as well. Very. I mean, when you talk about somebody being inspirational away from what he showed, what his portrayal was, how he did his work, going through the shit he had to go through, and to make so many fucking films like he did, amazing. I can't imagine anybody. I mean, my mom went through cancer. I mean, I don't want to bring up more tragedy here. My mom was diagnosed with cancer in January or February, and she passed away in July. It was in the same year. It's unbelievable when I think of what my mom went through, and then you think of what Chadwick Boseman had to do. It's amazing. I'm speechless from it. More credit to him. So, Buck Grimes, what did you think of him as a performer?
Well, unfortunately, I only remember him from his Black Panther performance. I might have seen him in other things and just didn't really realize, one, it was him, or two, exactly who he was at the time. But yeah, according to his Black Panther performance, I thought he did an outstanding job in that role.
Yeah, if you didn't know that he was African in the first place, I mean, sorry, if you knew that he was an American, you would probably think he was an African. If you never saw any of his other films, his accent was fantastic, and he's very good at doing different types of accents. His overall performance, he looked like a very heroic character. He looked like somebody you'd want to stand by and fight for, and yeah, he did a great performance. Now, I'll be honest with you, just to go on a little sidetrack here. I personally don't see the big deal in Black Panther as a film on its own. I think it's quite average as a film, personally, but I do understand the inspiration it has caused as a movie. I thought I didn't think he was bad in the movie. I think he was one of the best parts. Once again, sometimes it's not necessarily the performers, but the storyline and the revengeful family member coming back to claim what they want, which is theirs. It has been done before, and nevertheless, it was still good performances by them all. I have some ideas of where they might go in the future, but like I said, I'll bring that up a little bit later. Roberto, I was hoping you could chime in a little bit, mate, if you can. I know you made a video earlier today regarding this when it first broke, but now you've had the chance to settle, sleep on it, wake up, find out some more news, probably watch some YouTube videos. How are you feeling right now? What sort of impression has he left on you? Have you seen any of his other work?
Not really. I mean,
I can't hear you. I think you muted us.
Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Oh.
Yeah, but your face is moving different to the sound.
Oh, well,
Yeah, you had a leg spike there for a bit, bub.
Nice. All right, well, it is what it is.
Anyway, continue, mate.
So, yeah, I mean, I've only seen him in Black Panther. I know that he's done a lot of work before that. I mean, really just, I agree with you, Zam. The Black Panther movie was, as a individual movie on itself, it was a good superhero movie. But I did like the fact that it, and I said in my other video, my response, like, I don't want to say reaction, but like my video where I was kind of just flabbergasted. The Black Panther movie was more of a movement than anything else in Hollywood. Like in a Hollywood sense, it was more of a movement, basically taking an all black cast with a black director, and and basically showing that it can make big money. One of my biggest things was the fact that you take a movie like Black Panther, and a lot of people they were hesitant about the movie because it has mostly a minority in it, and unfortunately that Hollywood thinks they want to make that money back, so that doesn't check all the boxes. And Black Panther just shattered all that and showed, hey, this can work, this can happen. You don't have to have your all white Avengers you know, and I don't have a problem with a lot of the Avengers. And I don't think that we need to, you know, do the race swapping thing. Take what you have and, you know, like with Black Panther, take what you have and make it good. And Black Panther is a perfect example of that. You know, like you have a classic black superhero that is good, and you take it in your own. And that's kind of what I'm hoping happens with Shang-Chi is, you know, that they can take what they have and they run with it, and it shatters that expectation of those check boxes and everything. So I mean, that, you know, the Black Panther movie, you know, and that's what I mostly took away from it. And it was a good movie, don't get me wrong. I you know, Michael B. Jordan, amazing in that movie. You know, obviously Chadwick Boseman, amazing. You know, all the actors in that movie were amazing. And just for, you know, for us to lose Chadwick Boseman just so young, like when, you know, he's so young and he was so, you know, so vibrant, and he commanded that presence and that power, you know, on screen. Like I felt like T'Challa, you know, was, you know, and he was very quiet. He wasn't quippy. He didn't have to be quippy to be a good character. You know, you have a lot of Marvel movies and stuff like that where, you know, the quips are the cornerstone of the movie. And Chadwick Boseman, just the way he acted in those movies, just demanded that presence and demanded that respect of him on screen, where he didn't have to be the comedic cornerstone of the movie, like Tony Stark or, you know, Thor, like in Ragnarok, or anything like that. You know, Chadwick Boseman was a character in and of itself, and he was different, but yet he still was just something fantastic that just...
Martin Freeman's character was the comic relief of the film, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's really got a black fucking balaclava over his head with eye holes, so nobody mistakes him for a white guy. I'm fucking laughing my head off so much at that.
Well, and I mean, the thing is that, I mean, everybody else was pretty quippy around him. I mean, Shuri was another one that just, but I mean, you know, they kind of bounced off of him, and his character was very stoic. And that's what I think he portrayed very well.
He did.
I agree. And well said. Did you guys ever watch him in any? I know Buck Crumbs, you said you haven't, but have you watched him in anything else, Bob?
No, I have not. If you're asking me, unfortunately I have not. I know he's been in plenty of good movies. I've heard nothing but good things. I have not seen any other movies that he's been in.
Yeah, I haven't really heard. Knowingly, I haven't watched any movies other than Black Panther that he's been in.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to start going through his filmography now. I'm definitely curious to see him as James Brown.
Same here. I think he'd probably do a damn good job in that role too.
Yeah, for sure. Jackie Robinson, I can understand historically what that person did for America, let alone baseball.
If I'm not mistaken, doesn't that movie tend to touch more on his draft than baseball? Like, if I'm not mistaken, Jackie Robinson actually stood up for himself during the American draft, I believe for World War II.
Fair enough. I mean, like I said, I don't know anything about the American baseball history, but I could definitely that could be. Well, the only film I've seen about American baseball history is League of Their Own with Madonna and Gina Davis.
Yeah.
And Tom Hanks.
Check out The People versus Jackie Robinson. That's a really good movie. It was I want to say like a TNT special or something like that.
A TNT.
But yeah, it's like, well, TNT was a very low budget movie company at the time. But yeah, it's a pretty good series.
Okay. Fair enough. So, even though this person has now left us, I know for a fact, and I hope this doesn't offend anyone, and it shouldn't, because the inevitable will have to be asked, and it will need to be answered as well. What goes forth into the Marvel universe now? nobody expected Boseman to die. He hid his condition so well in a world where things are so easy to find out, especially if you're famous.
Oh yeah, it's amazing that he was able to hide that, because I had no clue until I read the Facebook article about him passing away. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Like, I woke up this morning about maybe 6:45 this morning, and I see a message from Rob, and it's about Boseman dying, and I couldn't believe it. You know, it was the same as when I first found out about Kobe Bryant dying. You just like people who die at an age when they shouldn't be dying, and it was unbelievable. At the same time as feeling remorse and stuff, as somebody who loves Marvel, loves it a lot, you can't help but think about what's going to go ahead. And I've had some ideas in what might happen in the future of Marvel. Now, I think there's a good, the people don't necessarily stay dead in the comic book world. They do come back to life. I could see Killmonger being resurrected. I know it sounds a bit bizarre. Killmonger being resurrected, having a new outlook in life, and becoming the new Black Panther. And Michael B. Jordan being Black Panther would be fantastic, in my opinion. I don't know if you guys would think that would be a good thing. There's also obviously the Doctor Strange film coming up with the multiverse, and maybe that tampers with T'Challa in a way that it alters how he looks, and he comes out looking different.
Played by a different actor. Honestly, I think what they should do is just let his memory just live on through what he put on screen, and just like not redo the character or CGI the fuck out of things.
I think they could leave Wakanda behind. I wouldn't, but I would feel sorry for the rest of the cast, who feel that they're on a journey, and that would be a discredit to everybody else who was involved in Black Panther to no longer continue this journey because of the death of Chadwick Boseman, and they don't deserve that, in my opinion. I feel they need to get around this. I feel, God, this is going to be corny, cheesy. You might even find this disrespectful, but the king is dead. Long live the king. And there needs to be a successor, in my opinion. As much as Chadwick Boseman has created something that is ever lasting, and he will never be forgotten. He himself wouldn't want to probably be the only person to play this character. He would want somebody else to take over the role. I'm sure he would. And I can't think of anybody in particular other than Michael B. Jordan playing Killmonger. I wouldn't want him to, obviously, I wouldn't want him to play T'Challa, but it would be good if that happens, or maybe T'Challa's spirit has to go into Killmonger, and then Michael B. Jordan, who's a fantastic actor, has to try and act like T'Challa, who's in the Killmonger body. I don't know, maybe, who knows? All right, I'm getting a nod of fuck that from
you're gonna check for me too. I'm like, no.
I am throwing up some ideas here.
Oh no, I get that. I get. Believe me, I'm not poo pooing the idea. It's just I don't think that'd be a great way to do Black Panther. Unfortunately,
I want to get back to this subject in a second, but just to go on a tangent here, there were some YouTube videos just only 3 or 4 months ago of Chadwick Boseman looking really skinny, and people were commenting and worried about his health. But because it's so common to see actors do dramatic weight loss, Christian Bale being the most prominent, Matthew McConaughey's done it, Joaquin Phoenix did it for Joker.
been doing it for a role or whatever.
Yeah, he just a lot of, and because and the type of actor that Bosman is, I mean, he plays real life characters as well as putting on the muscle for a fictional one is in Black Panther. So you just suspected that he was just losing weight for a role. I mean, even 50 Cent done it. I remember that as well. So that's what people thought. Even I thought that. I thought to myself, of course, there's nothing wrong with him. He's fucking T'Challa, for fuck's sake. Wakanda forever. There's nothing wrong with this guy, and that's probably because you're hoping for the best and not thinking the worst. And then, unfortunately, we should have been thinking the worst and hoping for the best because.
Well, also, he probably hit it really well from all of his fans.
Well, going back to that. Yeah, going.
Well, hold on. And the bottom line is that it's not our business. I mean, if he, I know that we all want to wish him well and we want to send positive vibes his way and everything like that. But I mean, if he wanted to keep it secret, and I mean, he gave us his all because he was great in Black Panther, Civil War. He was probably going through a lot of this when he was filming Infinity War and Endgame. There was a lot going on, behind the scenes. But I mean, he chose to keep this, a private thing, and I mean, and that's what we should respect.
I agree with you there, Bobby. I 100% agree with you, but I'm surprised it never got leaked. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't expect him to come out and say, "Yeah, I've got cancer. Feel sorry for me." Which he wouldn't do, and that's really stupid of me to say it like that, and I'll take it back. I wouldn't expect him to say, "I have cancer." I totally understand that. But I'm surprised that in the world we live in, where shit gets leaked all the time, how the hell did that not get leaked? I mean, he kept it a secret right to his death, right to his fucking death. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. How is that possible? You know what I mean? The only time you get secrets kept that long is if someone like John Cena was coming in the Royal Rumble or Roman Reigns in the most recent SummerSlam. Those are the secrets. Something like this would be leaked every fucking time. And for something like this not to be, it's a credit to him, and a credit to the people around him.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure with the pandemic too. I mean, he's been able to keep himself pretty secluded, I bet.
So, yeah, I mean, everybody would raise an eyeball about that.
Yeah, but before that, he was going through chemo. What I've been hearing about him now he's passed, is that he was going through chemotherapy while he was making movies.
Well,
Jesus Christ, how was he able to do that? My mom was on a fucking drip when she was going through a chemotherapy. The drip had to go with her everywhere. In the house, when she was in the hospital, she was always on a drip. How is this possible? It's the guy's. He really is a superhuman being. It's incredible, this person, what he's done. He's the same age as me. I'm 43. It's unbelievable.
Really? You're the same age as me? Holy hell, I thought you were younger than that, man.
43 years old, born May 23rd, 1977. My birthday is the day Owen Hart died.
Ow, what a birthday.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible. May 23rd, 1977. So, nevertheless. So, okay. So, I gave you guys some ideas earlier about what Marvel might have to do going forward. Do you guys have any ideas of your own? I'll start with you, Bobby.
I mean, the way I would handle it. I mean, first off, all right. I mean, first off, I would say that, recasting, I don't think is going to work. Not with this character.
Yeah, I agree.
Your Killmonger idea, it has merit. Not, of him somehow coming back to life and becoming Black Panther, that has merit. I was thinking about that and kind of thinking more along the lines of, they go through Black Panther 2 trying to revive Killmonger, and they finally revive him maybe midway through the movie. But the story more focuses on like Shuri and the other, the other main characters, and they have this threat that, they feel like, well, if they can't bring back T'Challa, because they'll have to start the movie off with the passing of the king. and then they feel like they have this new threat that they just can't deal with without, like someone. And so they decide to bring Killmonger back and try to see reason. And then by the end of the movie, they realize, Killmonger comes back midway through the movie, but then by the end of the movie, they realize, and even Killmonger realizes, he's like, I can't say, like, Shuri, you have to do this. And it kind of passes the torch then to Shuri, and then Michael B. Jordan goes again. He goes back into the afterlife, and then Shuri picks up the mantle of Black Panther. That would be my route of doing it. I do like the idea of bringing Michael B. Jordan back, but I think using him more as a vessel to transition to Shuri as the Black Panther, I think would be much better than just giving it to Michael B. Jordan. And I love Michael B. Jordan. I would love if Michael B. Jordan did not die at the end of Black Panther 1. I would be all for him getting the mantle, but I feel like bringing him back to life just to take the mantle of Black Panther, I feel like diminishes Shuri. And I feel like, bringing Michael B. Jordan back to facilitate that transition into Shuri becoming Black Panther, I think is one of the best ways to do it. Even by the end of that movie, like, Michael B. Killmonger's like, this is on you, Shuri. I'm not the person for this job. And then he fades back into the afterlife, after being back for like 1/3 of the movie, or like, midway through the movie till like right toward the end. And then Shuri takes on the role as Black Panther at the end. And I mean, I don't know, bring in, different characters, like, I'm trying to think, like Shadow King, the telepath from the X-Men comic books, that affected Storm. Like maybe instead of having Atlantis, because I know that there's been rumors of Doctor Doom and Atlantis and all this other stuff, maybe save that for the third movie, and maybe do the personal journey for Shuri in the second movie, because they can't they're just not going to be able to switch this on a dime. And I think it is a discredit to what they have built in the MCU for them to just switch this on a dime and just be like, even for Shuri, like, even if they go, well, now you're the queen, so now we got to go handle this Atlantis threat or whatever. I feel like that if they do that, that's just a write-off. It's not even like an honoring of Boseman's character that is now gone. It is a write-off where they're just like they just wrote him off screen. Like, you can still honor a character and their transition of leaving. Like, there was, even though there was a better way for like the Princess Leia thing. Like, there was a better, I didn't mind the way they did it, but there was a better way to do it. And I mean, you could still honor
death.
Huh?
I would have had to be dead from the beginning of episode 9.
Yeah, but they could have incorporated that into the core story, which would have honored her character more. And that's what I'm saying. Like, they could honor Boseman's character in the Black Panther movies more so if they have a movie focused on the transition rather than just a write-off in the beginning where they have the passing of the king and then Shuri's now just Black Panther now. I feel like that would be a discredit to Boseman's character arc.
Anyway. It's good focus on Shuri, but I personally think you could bring in just an unknown actor to come in, like some young kid from some one of the tribes in Wakanda who gets the opportunity to somehow become Black Panther. A bit of a Billy Batson sort of story for Black Panther, so to speak. Maybe. This guy could be like the African Peter Parker. Just like I said, I'm just throwing out some ideas here. I'm not sure if everything will stick. I can totally understand if not everything is appealing, but eventually something like Black Panther will have to continue with somebody else, and it'll be interesting to see what route Marvel goes. Now, Buck Crimes, what ideas have you got, mate?
Well, let's see here. I do like Cousin Cheeto's idea a lot. It could use a little more rework, but yeah, depending upon how good the script is that they have for it, I could definitely see that happening now. As Cousin Cheeto's talking. I really don't have a huge opinion on this particular franchise because I really don't know a whole lot about Black Panther. I've seen the movie, but that's pretty much it. And I know he was like an Avenger at one point.
He still is.
Yeah,
At the
that's
end
what
of
I thought.
Endgame, they were Avengers at the end of Endgame.
Yeah, so I really can't add a whole lot more to the Black Panther because I really don't know a whole lot about it.
Yeah, I can understand, but I mean, uh, well, I can't even think of the appropriate question to give you. Do you feel that this character and will go forward in Marvel? I guess.
I think what'll happen is the character himself. I think minor bit parts possibly, but yeah, I think they're going to almost shelve the franchise really.
Really?
And
Well, I can't see
here's
that.
why. Here's why. Reason being is because the obviously the actor who has played Black Panther has passed away, and it was actually kind of public um, with the with cancer and stuff like that. Uh, Pretty much what I'm saying is I don't think that they'll push Black Panther more. They might have him like showing up in like an Avengers movie or an X-Men movie where he's like beating the crap out of Juggernaut or whatever. But I don't see him coming back in a standalone movie. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I mean, it all depends where the wind flows. It might take a while for a restructure, a rebalance, for sure. I can't see a Black Panther 2 coming out for a good 5 years, at least.
Well, the Black Panther 2 is slated to come out in May of 2022. So yeah, they're either going to have to shift some.
Yeah.
They're going to have to shift some movies, or what I think might happen is in I think March or February, right before that, Doctor Strange and Thor are supposed to come out for like literally in 2022. We're supposed to get Thor in February, Doctor Strange in March, and then Black Panther in May. I think they're going to take one of those two movies and move it up to May. And then I think Black Panther 2 is going to be pushed off another year, or maybe even more. You might be right, like 5 years. But I don't think they're going to shelf the character. I don't think they're going to shelf the Black Panther franchise. I think they'll redirect it. And I hope they don't. I
think what's going to happen is the dust needs to settle on this. It really does. He just died recently, and the morning will happen. But then eventually, I think people will be looking forward to seeing somebody take on the mantle for sure.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be Shuri. I mean, people were shipping that. People were shipping that way before, like when the first movie came out. They were shipping Shuri to become the new Tony Stark. I think now they're going to be like, well, it only makes sense for her to be, the new Iron Man. They wanted Shuri to be the new Iron Man. So I think now they're going to just ship people, they're just going to want her to take on the mantle of Black Panther. It's just in the way they handle it. I think they need to handle it with careful gloves.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be honest with you, I'm not feeling Shuri as the new Black Panther. It just, I'd rather what's her face the what's her face from, yeah.
Well, and they might go the route of Okoye. I mean, but honestly, I don't.
That's the Walking Dead woman, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't think that they'll go that route. I mean, the Black Panther has always been a part of T'Challa's family. Well, it's been a part of the royal family. The reason why T'Challa took over as Black Panther before
but things change, man. Things change, Bob. You know what I mean? Things can change on a dime, man.
Yeah, but the purists are going to scream their asses off about that, though, if they switcheroo.
Let them, because this is bigger than that, man. You know what I mean? Like this thing of the Black Panther shouldn't be an oligarchy. It should be given to the right person, and I feel that should be emphasized in the movie when it comes to the successor, in my opinion.
Well, and that's why I went the Killmonger route when I said,
Yeah.
Killmonger tells Shuri, she's like, no, I can't do this. You need to be the one to do this. And I feel like Shuri is the natural. I honestly, I 100% disagree with you. I feel like Shuri is the 100% best choice for this.
I don't know. I would still like. It's weird in a way. I don't know. I just don't. I would rather somebody like Okoye, who embodies the fire of a Black Panther, than his sister, who, in my opinion, regarding the personality of what I want a Black Panther to be, she doesn't have it for me. She reminds me of Velma from fucking Scooby Doo. Okoye would be but like I says, it's all going to be eventually shared with us eventually, because I know Marvel will definitely want to take this into a particular direction. They will move on with this project, I believe, for sure. I can't guarantee anything in this world because nothing is guaranteed. But something like Black Panther is just too important for them, too much of a money maker for them, for it to sit on the shelf after the leading character has passed. In so many forms of entertainment, people have taken on mantles, and Black Panther's mantle will be taken on by somebody else. I can't wait till that happens. The speculation is very interesting, for sure. I do feel like we've spoken enough on these subject matters. I feel like we've given our condolences. We've shared our remorse, and we've looked forward to the future. Have any of you guys got anything more to say?
I think my brother was trying to come in, but if you're wrapping it up, he was having issues with his stuff. So if not, I mean, if you're ready to wrap up, then we can just wrap up and move on.
We've been on for over half an hour. We've said plenty, and I'm only going to be chatting breeze now from now onwards, trying to fill in the air. So I've got nothing more to say really. About yourself, Buck Crimes.
I really couldn't tack on much more as far as like anything meaningful. I think also the mushrooms are starting to kick in a little bit, so there is that.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yourself, Bob.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, well, Chris, if you are watching, I'm sorry, mate. I do apologize that you haven't joined. Everyone else who have been watching, who've joined us from the beginning or to the end or in between, thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day, and Wakanda forever.